because you guys have 36, 37 people that are kind of technically part of the Precision Ag staff here, but I know you mentioned that
across all of our footprint, yes.
Yeah, but you mentioned that, I mean, it kind of goes broader than that. That then there's more people that kind of touch that segment of the business.
Well, you've got, I mean, really when it comes down to it, it should start at the salesman. The Westons and the Chris's of the business really aren't that key point. The salesman's still that key touch to the customer. And so that's really where it starts. And so having the salesman having the base knowledge, they don't have to be the pure expert on it, but they have to be conversational. They have to look at the business side of it and how does it fit? What are the services, whether it's the sales programs or the a la cartes? What fits for that operation? And now they come back and they work with Chris and Weston and Kevin and to look at now how do we implement it? What's the best mode of action to go through and implement what that farmer needs? And so really that's the key to that. And then it's up through the business where Keith as a district manager comes in and helps to manage the whole business, because then it turns into an operational thing, making sure that the equipment is ready to go and that the controllers are in condition, updated, calibrated, all of the things that come into play.
Right, and obviously though, as a company, even though you guys aren't in the equipment sales side of agriculture, I mean, you guys deal with, probably almost everything you can think of. So,
Yes.
I mean, how do you, from kind of a knowledge standpoint then, I mean, that's a big, point of pressure for a lot of precision guys these days, and keeping up. But you guys, obviously that's almost multiplied, with the scope that you guys are operating on. I mean, how do you kind of keep pace with that without actually kind of selling the equipment, but you guys still have to know pretty much how everything runs?
I think it's kind of like David said, we have Marlon, who has vast knowledge in most of the controllers, but, I can call up Weston anytime. Hey, have you done anything? Yeah, this is what you need to do. Here's the kicks, whatever. So that's mainly how we do it. And we've got good relationships with a lot of the dealers around here. We work closely with them too on, training and all that.
How valuable has it been to kind of have both that internal and it sounds like an external kind of network, that you guys can kind of tap into? I mean, obviously you want to be the problem solvers here for your customers internally, I'm sure, but I'm sure there's those occasions where you're going to have to go outside.
I think the biggest thing is having that relationship with the equipment dealers. Having again that for these guys, having the conversational capability, the base knowledge of an operation of a yield monitor or controller, but knowing I can answer these questions. But once you get past this, now it's up to the equipment dealer. That's when you need to call your dealer, because you need to ask them those questions. And I think that's where our relationship really works well together. For we don't want in that business, because that's not our expertise. That is their expertise, and so we collaborate with them on a fairly regular basis. And it doesn't matter what the brand, because like you said, it's everything.
Do you feel like the dealers are really open to your input and from a collaborative standpoint, that some of the input that you provide from the field, equipment dealers, or
the dealers that we work with locally, they understand that we're on that farm and we're in and out, and the better we understand their equipment, the better it helps them too. So I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's it's still helping the farmer and trying to be the best we can at getting them through the day, getting them home at night. And the dealers we work with work well. We're running some of their equipment as well, and so they're looking at sometimes we have the most hours, the most acres, the most under the equipment we have, and so they're looking back for feedback from us of what can we do better and what can they do better in that collaboration and working through situations that we have.
Yeah, and especially during harvest season, they can't get out to get to everybody, and my salesmen are trained to help calibrate the combines. We have a weight wagon we use, and that takes a load off of them. and it gives us good data. So it kind of works hand in hand. You know, they help us, you know, teach the salesmen how to do it because they're there, and so I think it goes hand in hand.
I'm guessing that probably reinforces then the services you are able to provide too.
Yes.
Are you finding it's kind of a two-way street then with kind of some of the equipment guys that maybe they're not into that agronomic side as much as you guys are? Are you getting a good partnership or perhaps some, you know, referral business out of that as well? You know, maybe they're getting some of the more hardware equipment stuff. You guys are maybe getting a little bit more of the agronomic data side of things.
I think in some areas, yes. I think we do. We become unpaid salespeople for each other because it is, like Chris was saying, it is about the data and getting an accurate job done. And if we can get the data accurately, then both of us have the opportunity to provide a service that an actionable item will be done. It will be performed accurately and correctly. Because if we don't get the good data, I mean, we might as well throw it away. And so now we start over again. And so it's to both our benefits. And if we're helping them make their equipment work better, like Chris said, with the salesman running, you know, doing calibrations, that's a service that helps them sell the next combine. And for us, it's to sell the next input of some sort or the next service. Because we have that expertise, we have that knowledge, now we're kind of that go-to person for what they need in technology.